from to the eastern window. It might look like it's gray outside, but there's still light. This is my 13th anniversary of a physical return. It has been squelched, almost forbidden to speak about. That's someone else's rules. And I think it's important to be spoken of. These few days, 13 years ago, were a readjustment period. Get my hood put up here, right? There was a morning 13 years ago, I woke up. My car, Sheila, would not start. I had to call in to work. And I felt totally and completely defeated. I was trying to live up to other people's expectations of what my calling should be like, look like, act like. I had some pretty good beaten downs, verbally, gossip-wise. And shunned. I had 2 housemates at the time, and they'd gone off to their works. So I prepared a pot of ham hocks and beans on a slow cook on the stove. Dressed in my most elegant black lace. Fixed my hair, put on my face. And slowly bled out. Death is a slow thing. And for myself, I can now see there was a reason. I could feel it start at my feet, work up my legs, hit my digestive tract, which did a total dump, move up to my liver. When it shut down, oh, that was so painful. And as it was moving up to my diaphragm, so that the 2 housemates, upon returning home, would not have to deal with the dead body, I made a telephone call to 911. I had already unlocked the front door. I had yelled and Paltoy and my cat Chance. They were around me. And the paramedics came in and evaluated the situation. It was put down as domestic violence, which was more appropriate than anything. The one EMT put oxygen over my face, and I had to push it away because the oxygen hurt in my lungs. And I died. Between where I was and the ER at Wishart, and some doctors wanting to try an experiment, it was 30 minutes dead. So they pumped me full of everyone's A positive blood that was in the bank. That wouldn't do good for my Jehovah Witness relatives that believe that the sins of another are in the blood. I was an experiment for them. One of the doctors worked with spinal injuries of adolescents, and this would be a wonderful experiment for an ischemic stroke, loss of blood, the spine, how it would react, the brain, how much would come back. Strangely, it took them 3 times to shock my heart before it would start back up again. It was over 6 units of blood my body received. And then I lay in a coma. My human spirit and my soul separate. The human spirit is what keeps your body going. There are hospitals and healthcare centers that keep a body going, and it traps the human spirit. Well, my soul went to where I call the womb of God, a place where souls go. They're not ready to totally depart. It was a beautiful void of peace. No pain, no worries, no expectations. And so I remained there until one day, on the 3rd day, I opened up my eyes. I saw the dean of the church, and I said, "Hello, Stephen." I think I shocked the shit out of everyone. I came back with a mind. During the first 2 weeks, I had necrotic flesh developing from where they went into the femoral artery. The artery did not close, and necrotic flesh was developed. Well, during that time, I had lovely, what they called sitters. So I had a 24/7 observation team. A goodly part of them were from Ethiopia. And they treated me with much kindness. But even though I had come back and was awake, here, Rocco, did you eat your banana? My soul would come out of the top of my head and float up and look down at whatever they were doing with my body. I remember one time, the room adjacent to mine, a lady was dying, and I did enter there once, and the room was empty. Her human spirit and soul were both gone. Another time, I pulled out and went through the wall into the night. That's where I discovered the God particle. As I was out in the air, I opened up my arms and I watched as what molecules were expanding and dissipating. It was a beautiful piece. And that incident, when they reunited everything again, and pulled back through the top of my head, all that expansion was compacted back together, and there was, so much pain. And my soul was feeling all the physical pain. I was in Wishart for over a month, and Lordy, many experiences that there was one nurse and her assistant that tired of changing my bed because I was paralyzed from the waist down, and still mostly am. So they pulled me out of bed and set me on a bedside toilet, naked, with the door open. My upper body strength was not that strong at the moment. And they said they were going to go to their lunch and they'd be back in a half hour. I slid off that onto the floor and crawled to the open door, asking for help. Well, another nurse that was on duty said, "I'm sorry, I'm not your nurse," and closed the door. As my private insurance was running out, and I was slowly going into M&M, Medicaid and Medicare, pushed out because there were no nursing home rehab facilities that would accept me because I was not complete. And the only thing that would be covered would be a semi-private room So they couldn't put me with a female, and they couldn't put me with a male. And there was no insurance that would cover a private room. So I went back to the place where I was renting a room and laid on the floor. That was an experience. Luckily, after a period of time, I was able to pull myself up into a wingback chair, which gave me a sense of a bit of dignity. I was also put on a priest-only order of visitation. I'm guessing they did not care for the comparatives or for some of the mental anguish brought upon by how can there be a transgender man? A friend of mine, Bill, did find me a used wheelchair, and that allowed me to be able to get back to my bedroom and sleep on a bed. The living situation was not good at all. But I had three good. There was my wound nurse with this. I removed a pound of flesh from the inside of my left thigh, and I had to wear a wound vac. And with my wheelchair and assistance from a roommate, I attended church in my wheelchair with my wound vac. Hiding my disabilities. I was told I'd never get out of the chair. But in this time of being so totally vulnerable and isolated, I stopped living by other people's expectations of what a religious person should be, should speak like, should act like. And discover my calling. Heck, the Creator had brought me back for a reason, and so I accepted that. Within the 13 years, I probably accomplished more than anyone ever thought I could. Escaping to peace in Ireland, living by myself, learning to walk. I have no idea how I do it. I think I walk by grace. That's about the only way it could happen. And in the 13 years, I had come to my peace. I'm still very vocal and opinionated. Maybe I vocalize my opinions more. Oh well. Something people can get over. So now as I enter into the 14th year of my return, I still remember death, its peace, its beauty, the separation of the human spirit and soul. I hold on to those. They help me be sane, equalized, and taking me from being lonely to accepting alone, never alone. So, I still hide my inabilities too well. And thus, the forbidden story you have been given the cliff notes on. A spiritual journey. A journey into my calling and my personal faith. So, as always, be kind to yourselves. Find community. And occasionally remember that strange old nun, Sister Estelle, of the old way, who can make a coffee that can help you cough up all your phlegm and shit. And I will continue with observing out my eastern window. And on a good day like today, letting the fresh air in. Continue my love for everyone. It is given unto us to forgive. It is up to the Creator to forgive. So, I may try baking today. That may be about all that I get done, except for Rocco and mine's meal. But it's the right temperature. And it's a good day for the oven to be going. Blessed be. Blessings. Be blessed. The birds are active.